caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to this fantastic Friday night of the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese, and welcome. And I got to tell you, I am in a damn good mood. I'm always in a good mood. As you guys know, as everybody that has watched me or knows me, I am always in a good mood. I love life. And I think one of the reasons why I do love life is because, I've always been taught to be positive, to have confidence, and to believe in yourself. I've always been taught that. I mean, my parents instilled that into me. It's my mom likes to say that everything good in my life came from my karate upbringing. And it's hard to argue with her because it did instill in me confidence. And it did instill in me the ability to learn from my mistakes and learn how to win, right? So when you play sports and you compete on an individual basis and you compete on a team basis, I think you learn certain things that I think are relevant to what took place on Thursday, and we're going to talk about that. There is an update on the mikva stuff. I know that everybody that has been that has watched the caltrop, I do talk about local stuff. I do talk about myself, my life, what I'm involved in. So there's a big update on that. The Mike's Right, honestly, is going to be about winning because I do believe winning is a mindset. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully I could give you some motivation, because sometimes I needed motivation in my life. I need a motivation during this mikva stuff, especially when you hear the negativity and you hear the comments and you hear just the defeatist attitude that everybody brings to the table. But we're going to be talking about winning this episode. We're going to be talking about positivity because I think it goes a long way, guys. We also have some fun shit. I mean, you know how Fridays roll. We're going to go with some weird stuff. I saved some good Friday stories for Friday. We have Obama admits there's aliens, but doesn't admit there's aliens and walks it back, but doesn't. It's very interesting with that. Trump even commented on it and made it all even more weird. We have Prince Andrew obviously being arrested overseas. They're starting to arrest and interrogate people over their role or their, maybe it's just for show, but we will see. It's definitely a response to this Epstein list, but Trump responds as well to that. So we have that. We have the tariffs. Supreme Court made a big decision on tariffs here, guys. And my response to this may surprise you. A lot of people are, I know there's assumptions made about me. But stay tuned for that. We'll talk about we're talking about tariffs. And, of course, I want to add something. So put it in your chat, man. If you want to bring something up, I'm going to try to get this show done in about 45 minutes. I'm going to leave the last 15 minutes up to you. But at any point, if there's something in the chat, I have the Rumble chat up. I have the YouTube chat. I can see in the YouTube chat. Let's see. So far, we have Jay Cal, the Center Cut Media is in there. Of course, myself. And like all my pages on Center Cut Media, everybody, Mama Dukes, it's Johnny69. Commenting in the Rumble chat, we also have Amen Disker. Gotta love it. Hey, listen, I can see both chats. So if you want to get in the chat, The ones I can see on my screen right now are Rumble and YouTube. I will be checking Facebook from here from when I get done with the monologue. But if you want to chat, I want your questions. I want your concerns. I want you to bring it to me. It's going to be open for you guys. So we will go through. I'll go through the chat, and we will. I'll answer whatever questions you want. I don't care if it's personal questions. You ask me whatever the hell you want, and we will answer it honestly. But let's get the show started. The mic's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, everybody. Last night was a great night for me. I lost my first game in cornhole, and that's not why the night was great. It was great because while I was losing at cornhole, I was winning at life. Because while the scoreboard said I lost that game, I walked back to the table afterwards to hear the planning board said no. If you remember, I've been fighting against the Manchester mikva for a while, and it was denied. And that didn't happen, everybody, by accident. That happened because people finally refused to accept it. They refused to listen to, there's nothing you could do. You know what I heard when I started the Brick Breakdown, when I started all this stuff? Mike, no one cares about local issues. Stick to the national stuff. Local politics isn't going anywhere. Nobody gives a shit. Well, they were wrong. And then when I took on this mikva fight, those same losing minds said, oh, it's already approved. It's being built already. They get whatever they want. Just move on. You can't stop it. And if I'm being real with everybody, I didn't think we were going to win that fucking thing either. I thought it was preordained. I mean, they are already building the damn thing. The plumbing's done. Almost already built, but the outside. That's how confident they were in this. But here's the difference, everyone. Just because I didn't think we'd win, it didn't mean I wasn't going to play the fucking game. I grew up in sports, and I've won games I had no business winning. Underdog games, on the road games, pouring rain games, down 2-score games. You don't walk onto the field thinking, well, the other team looks a lot bigger. I guess we'll lose. I was never the biggest. I was usually the fastest. No. But you play the game. And here's the problem, if you ask me, with society right now. And far too many of you get sucked up into this negative bullshit. Too many of you are sitting in the bleachers of your own damn lives. Commentating, complaining, bitching, critiquing, playing Monday morning quarterback, but not playing. And if you're not in the game, you already took the loss. You're losers without effort. You don't want to be in politics? Cool. Politics is in you, whether you like it or not. You don't want to be involved in local issues? Cool. They're involved with you, whether you like it or not. The game is being played. And if you don't play the game plays you. And that's called a guaranteed loss. And I reject that thinking. Because winning to me is a mindset. Winning is an attitude. Winning is a belief. Isn't that something to believe in? Winning? And sadly, from what I could see, we're being conditioned to lose. Since you were a kid, you've been told, sit down, shut up, don't rock the boat, get along to go along. You've been told no 1,000,000 times. You've been trained to accept losing. Because that's why our politicians suck. Because we accept losers. And worse, we don't just accept them. We make excuses for them. Well, it's complicated. That's just how it is. What can you do? You just have to accept it. That's loser language. And we've been speaking it our whole lives. And to me, it's time to end that bullshit. Listen, losing happens. But you accept it, you learn from it, you adjust, you overcome, and you figure out how to win. You don't build a house in losing. You don't decorate a losing house, and you don't defend a losing house. You overcome it. And I'm here to tell everybody something. Winning is possible, no matter what your game you're playing. And it's not just possible, it's probable. But it's only possible and it's only probable if you wake up. You have to wake up as individuals and realize that we don't have to live in fear or panic or a constant state of outrage or negativity or the world's coming to an end. You can live happy. You can live positive. And it starts with how you talk to yourself. Change the I can't to I can. Why don't you try that? Stop saying I'm bad at this. I'm not good enough. That's just who I am. No, I don't accept it. You are what you repeatedly tell yourself that you are. And we are what we all search for. And if you search for evil or misery or collapse and negativity all day, that's all you're going to see. But if you start searching for wins and you start celebrating wins, you start searching for positive, you start celebrating positives, and you turn your weaknesses into strength, then you win. It's really easy. Anything, if you think that there's anything you can't do, trust me, you are right. But if you think that there's anything you can do, you're also right. The only difference is one of those beliefs moves you forward and the other one holds you back. So I'm telling everybody, stop listening to the people with no hope, no will, and no ambition, especially the people online. Misery loves company, and it's recruiting heavily right now. So steer clear of it. Think of society as a baseball team. Everyone has a position. Everyone has a role. And if the shortstop decides he doesn't feel like playing, then the whole team suffers. And there's a saying that says there's no I in team. I heard Shaq said there's an ME in that motherfucker. And the ME better be on his game. And they say winning isn't everything. And I say that's loser talk. You're either first or you're last. Ricky Bobby. But listen, seriously, winning at life is important. And it doesn't mean that you have the most money. It doesn't mean that you have to beat everyone else. Winning at life means winning in your own head. You beat doubt. You beat fear. You beat the voice telling you to quit and the idiots telling you it can't be done. Last night, I lost at cornhole. But I won where it mattered. Because I didn't sit out. I didn't accept nothing. I didn't accept there's nothing you could do. I didn't quit before the whistle. I played through the whistle. And that's how winning is done. So let's start stacking wins, everyone. Start with the small wins. Celebrate them. Then go to the local wins and your personal wins and your mental wins. Change your words. Change your mindset. Change your circle if you have to. But most importantly, change your fucking effort. And watch what happens. Sit back and watch. Stop spectating. Start playing. Because if you're in the game, you always have a chance to win. And if you're in with calories, we won. And we're going to keep winning. Why? Because nothing will keep me from moving forward. That is how winning is done. It's time, everybody, to start winning. Just like Trump said, we want to have so much winning that we're going to be sick and tired of winning. But I never get tired of it. That's Mike's right. Hope you listen. How do you like me now? I got to tell you something, guys. I am honestly pumped up, and I am so pumped up that I'm going to drain whatever weirdo alcoholic drinks that I have in the fridge. Right now I have some, I don't even know what this is, wild leaf green tea with apple and honey craft hard tea. Let's oh, that was interesting. That's like apple with green tea and honey. That was really good. Okay, I'm going to enjoy that one. But listen, everybody, let's get to a couple of what's going on. It's Johnny. Rumble isn't working for me. Try to gut out and get back in. Yankee 68. I love when Jersey Abe comes in. I love it. Half his comments I really want to read, but I kind of can't. And Jay Calda says, winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I completely agree. And let's see. Amen Disker says, that's crazy because I was just thinking of putting my son in karate. I think you just validated this for me. Listen, karate gives you a lot of confidence. And you know what karate I think teaches you? I think karate teaches you self-control and mental discipline and mental fortitude, really, because you have to be able to focus your mind. And being able to focus your mind, I think, is something that a lot of people are scatterbrained. A lot of people go crazy. They can't focus their mind, and they can't, especially like kids today, they can't flip the switch. My parents used to say all the time, flip the switch. Especially like when it came into like a competition. If I, going out there, as soon as I was walking on the mat, it was like, it's go time. Flip the switch, focus on what you're doing, focus on what you have to do, and execute, right? And when you do that, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You know what I'm saying? It's like throughout a kid's life, like we're either going to prove to these kids that they are capable at success or they're not capable at success. That's why I get so mad when you hear like black people say to their kids, well, you're a black child, so. Because I think there's so many negative connotations that come with that. And then that kid's going to take on that, well, I'm black, therefore I blah, 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 blah. I can't because this. I have a glass ceiling. I have all of this stuff is being fed into their brains instead of being fed into what are you capable of doing? Because you're capable of doing way more than you ever give yourself credit for. And I think that's what everybody is missing, right? Because like last night, there's a lot of people that's local, and I'm going to recap this guys for you really fast because I do want to hit this decently hard. This mikvah thing is a celebration. I'm having a drink to celebrate. This is really good. I'm having a drink to celebrate because, again, you hear things nonstop. You can't win. It's already predetermined. It's already this. It's already that. It's all bullshit. And you take it on anyway. And when I took this on, this is something that's so weird. And I have to take you back to the beginning. I didn't even want to do that video that got me involved in this mikvah in the first place. I didn't even want to do it. But the person that was asking me to do it, I couldn't say no to. And then when I watched it already being built before it was approved, I was like, this is the problem with everything. And I really thought I was going to do a video on this mikvah. And I thought it was going to be like the rest of my Facebook videos where they get like maybe 7.5 people liking it and 49 overall views and totally shadow banned on all these on Facebook, which is confirmed now because somehow I've been unlocked on the same content. Go figure that one out. But I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Facebook, I love you. Trust me. But anyway, I didn't even want to do this video. And I wake up after posting it to like 25,000 views. I get to that first meeting and people are walking out, shaking my hand, talking to me. I'm only here because of you. And shit. It's like, wow, that video like made a difference. And then I became emotionally involved in this. And then I watched the lawyer yell at everybody. Anybody that asked a question, this lawyer ripped them in the third meeting. I mean, ripped it, was yelling it, and the board kind of let her get away with it. And then your boy has to go up there and make some comments and kind of put her in her little piece of shit place. And these people, it's funny because these lawyers now just like look down and they don't even say nothing to me when I'm asking them questions. While they're making their poor professional that they brought in get lassoed by me and drugged. But anyway, that's besides the point. But we did that, and I watched that happen. I watched people get berated. And then I watched people get accused of being some type of anti-Semite and all this stuff. And I watched a group of people. And now, granted, it wasn't the group of people that I thought needed to change this thing. I thought we had to pack that place. I thought there needed to be people flowing out of the auditorium in order to make a difference. But I got to tell you something. I was wrong. Because it didn't take an entire auditorium full of people. You know what it took? It took specific people being a team without even realizing they were a team, doing what they're naturally good at. So there's a woman, Mariah. I met her because of these videos, because of this mikvah. She got up there. She starts talking about the tax exemption and how this, they bought it under this, blah, blah, blah. There was a corporation that bought it, the mikva and all. And she's listing stuff to the planning board that they clearly never heard before. But she was able to find it because of what she did. And then you had another woman asking like our Lupa questions. Then you had another woman asking a lot of questions based on just being a woman and her inability to use this. And you had all these people, and it wasn't an overwhelming amount of people, but it was the right amount, and it was the effective amount. It wasn't that many. It may have been 20, 30 people that really voiced a concern or asked a question total. And it was on both sides. You had people on both sides fighting. And at that point, it's like, who's got the better argument? That's how it should be. And we clearly had the better argument. I had to, because that's how winning is done. I'll drink to that. So you fast forward to this denial, and I got to tell you something. Am I going to take a victory lap with it? You're fucking A right, I will. Because you know what, dude? There's a lot of wins that I have had since I got involved. There's a lot. And I want everybody to be aware of it. Since I said enough is enough with this shit, I was going to run for politics, and I figured, you know what? No, let's start a show, and let's expose everybody, and let's talk about things in a real way. Let's be direct and honest for a change. Like really direct and honest. Not like Dan Bongino saying he's direct and honest with all of his sources that tell him that Epstein has an extensive blacklist and all this other stuff. Then he gets in there and says, no, I swear to God, no. He's dead and there's nothing in that file. Nothing. I swear to God. And I personally seen all 5 million pages of it. I looked at all of them. Nothing at all. Yeah. Not that kind of honest. I mean, truthful, real, and honest. And dude, you know what? It was a big win. We get that win. And it's a win for all of Ocean County. And you know what's going to happen now? Here's the sad part that's going to happen now. And this is the disgusting part of our system. You get this win, and you know it's not over because they're going to sue. And they're going to sue on what they call our Lupa laws. And this is the disgusting part about what creates hate and what creates all the problems that we have are laws that treat people, laws that are meant to make groups equal, that were equal, that now gives them special privilege, like our Lupa laws. Our Lupa laws are religious land use laws. I don't want to get too technical for you, but it basically says, and the way New Jersey and certain judges have been applying it is if any religious person, and I'm just going to say it, if any Jewish person in my area claims our Lupa, they get to do whatever the hell they want. They get to go through rate pass zoning. They claim a hardship. They build on whatever the hell they want, whatever they want. And judges have been just completely letting them do it. So those are Lupa laws. They create a situation where people just hate each other. Like people have animosity and they don't like each other because of that, because of the special privilege. And what I witnessed is I witnessed a win for a planning board that's going to be called racist. I witnessed a win for people in this town that have really no hope. And that's like, to me, one of the biggest reasons why I got involved in this is because I was so sick and tired of seeing no hope in people. The people just defeatist attitude and people selling the house that they thought they were going to raise their kids in with their heads down, leaving an area they wanted to be around because they feel like they were forced out. That's what we're dealing with. And now, you know what? We could sit back and say, well, you know what? Winning is possible. I feel like we're watching Rocky. Actually, you know what? You know what? I had this one loaded up.
You can't win.
I feel like I was watching Rocky with Apollo. You see? He's a man. He's not a machine. You cut him. We cut him. So what do we do from here? We're going to celebrate the hell out of this. And then we're going to figure out how to continue forward. And I think the way to continue forward, everybody, is, and I mean this, like, you want to vote Democrat, vote Democrat. You want to be against Trump, be against Trump. But you have to understand that you live next door to a Trump person in your community. And you have to understand that that guy doesn't hate your guts. That guy's not a Nazi. That guy's not a fucking piece of shit. That guy's not a pedophile lover. He just likes a different president than you. And if you're on the right, you do have to give up. Some of that all left-wing people are fucking lunatic morons. Because the truth of the matter is, I say this to you a lot, but they push us to the sides, and we are all right here. We are all right here. And we, you know, while we keep arguing over stupid shit, and we keep playing the, you know, I see this one place calling us magats, and every other word's a MAGA out of a MAGA this, MAGA that, and Trump this, Trump that, and all this. You know what, guys? It's not helping anybody. And it's creating an atmosphere where everybody is negative and everybody is horrible. And, you know, I wish we could get past that for some, you know, just fun things, you know, fun things like we're going to move on to. Let's get to some of the chats here. Jersey Abe, how does he even do this? Oh, man, let's see. Hey there, that orange soda. Yes, orange soda. Everyone's just saying, Mike, what's up? I guess, let's see. Anything in the YouTube chat here? Amen, karate. Okay, so we're talking about karate. My son is also African-American. Do you know me, Mike? What No. Honestly, I really have no idea who you are. I couldn't even say your name, Amen, Disker. Right? So, all right. So let's do this. Let's get going. If you do have any questions for me, I'll check. I'll get the Facebook chat going as well. But let's get to some of the show, and let's start off with something fun here. Let's do Obama. Have you seen this clip of Obama?
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
Where the fuck have I heard that before?
Area 51. You knew then, and you did nothing.
Sir, regardless of what you may have read in the tabloids, there have never been any spacecraft recovered by our government. Take my word for it. There's no Area 51. There's no recovered spaceship.
Excuse me.
That was one of my favorite. But he asked an interesting question there. You know, there's some giant conspiracy. Why wouldn't they tell the president of the United States?
Why the hell wasn't I told about this place?
2 words, Mr. President. Plausible deniability.
It's that simple, man. They had it all figured out. You don't tell him. Plausible deniability. But how do you say, oh, man, how do you say this if you're Barack Obama? There's definitely, well, yeah, there's aliens. Are there aliens, sir? Yeah, there's aliens. But I never seen them. I swear to God, I never seen them ever in my life. They're there. You'd see them floating in the sea. You ever see up in the sky sometimes where a bird just hits like a wall and it falls down to the ground? That's how you know the aliens are real. And then you have Donald Trump. And oh man, here's Donald Trump. You know, because Barack Obama, sorry, before I even get to Donald Trump, Barack Obama tried saying a whole bunch of different things on this, and I don't think I actually formatted them properly, but he was trying to walk all of these back. He was trying to say, no, like I'm not saying they're real. I'm saying, like, you know, the probability kind of exists that it's real. That's what I was really saying. And no. I've never, ever, I swear to God, I never, ever seen an alien, but it's real. It's math. It's really just math is what I was talking about. And then you have Donald Trump go and say this.
I think they got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to. So if you want to make an announcement,
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals.
Illegal aliens are the only ones I care about. Trust me. And we're getting them all out. All the aliens and the murdering ones. I don't like the murdering or raping aliens. They're my least favorite aliens. They like the anal butt probes. We don't know butt probing in Trump's administration. Oh man, let me take a sidebar real quick. Kim Fisher Gibbons, this is Facebook. She says, I didn't know if any of this was going on until I saw Mike Caldere's post. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Listen, this is what happens. We have to get all this information out because it's funny because we have news sources there's news sources that have not even reported on this mikvah being denied. Only one news source did, and then the Brick Breakdown then obviously was the only one that covered it. Mariah, the one who's making awesome comments out there, said property, the tax exemption was immediately filed prior to the mikvah meetings, prior to it even being approved. I smell taxes being owed. Ooh. Yeah, it'd be really interesting if they immediately filed for a 501c3 on their property and they automatically didn't pay any taxes or partial taxes or declared that part that was approved for a mikvah, that little area was tax exempt or something. I bet something's going on in that's for sure. Says, thanks for showing up from Manchester. Kim says, I'd rather go down fishing than get rolled over or fighting than get rolled over. You're damn right, man. I'd rather throw some punches, man. If someone's throwing punches at you, you're going to be a fool to lay there in a fetal position and just take it. I got to tell you something. Edward Joseph says, if I was a body language reader, I would say aliens are real and mathematically they have to be 100%. And Teresa says, our looper going forward, the board must show the decision was based on an objective zoning criteria, environmental and infrastructure impacts were documented, traffic, stormwater. Oh, yeah, the township transcripts reads factual. The town has a strong case. Yes. So what everybody said, again, everybody stuck to what I asked them to do. For the most part, they didn't get sucked up into the bullshit. They stayed focused. We wouldn't be able to do this. This isn't approved. This is commercial. There's no other like business that we could have that we could put there. There's nothing. That solves all our looper problems. They should not have a problem winning this. So when I follow this to court and I see the Judge Hodson, who that guy, from what I understand, was appointed by a religious Jewish person to oversee religious Jewish land use cases, I think that's a conflict of interest. I'm just going to say that. But we're going to see. We're going to see how he rules. Because it's funny how a judge who's not a zoning pro could overrule all the local zoning pros, the people that went to school for this, the people like in my town who is incredibly highly credited, credible, incredibly skilled at what she does, but a judge is able to just overrule her. Isn't that crazy? It's unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. But I digress. I think that's all of them, right? Kevin says, how do we find out how many 501Cs we have in our community? The God's Not Truth, guys. I'm a mason contractor who puts on a show. So I haven't the slightest idea how we do all that stuff. I hope that there's people out there that are willing to dive into this stuff and get it back to me. This is where I need your help. This is why I need a whole team of caltrops. This is why I need you to do more than just taking your finger and touching my like button. And you could do that sexually or not sexually. That's up to you. But I need your help, everybody. It goes past sharing it. It goes to, if you could go ahead and see if you could look that up. Send it to me. Because I really need the help. I have a lot going on. There's a lot to attend to. There's a lot of show prep. There's a lot to, believe it or not, to making these videos and doing this stuff. Because I do want to have credibility. Anything I say, it's if I give an opinion on something, I want that opinion to come from a lot of research. and a lot of information and a lot of weighing both sides. If I give you facts, I want them to be facts. Not, some what the news does, which is they give you a story, right? They don't tell you the story. They don't tell you the story. They give you a story and a part of the story. And then they fill in the story to the little piece of the story that they want you to know. But they don't give you the whole truth. And that's the interesting part about it. Like this, like Obama. Like Obama. Obama was what? Oh, there's definitely aliens. No, there's not aliens. And Trump's like, oh, man, he gave up classified information. And Ducey's sitting there like, hold on, wait a second. If it's classified, then there's aliens. I didn't say that. I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying he gave up classified information. That wasn't smart. Are they fucking with each other? Is Trump fucking with them? Because anything Trump says, I don't know if you notice this anymore, but look at this. He has this like shit-eating grin on his face. Every time he talks, he just has this just shit-eating grin where he seems like he's drinking. I know he doesn't drink, but it seems like he's kind of like that happy drunk. Like he's just cheesing, like everything's great. I love life. You gotta love life. Mama Duke says, hit the like button, guys. Yes, definitely. And you're spot on, Mike. Listen, hit the like button. God's honest truth, guys. You watching me, you watching my clips, sharing my clips, hitting the like button. That's how we get this stuff out there. And I'm telling you something. I want us to start feeling what it means to win. This is why I did this monologue. This is why I talked that. I want us to feel wins. I want us to feel like wins are possible. I want us to feel like that, where we're living is under attack. And this goes for a lot of people. Everyone in America in some way feels absolutely attacked. I don't know why, because we're living really well. We're living really, really, really well. What do we want to talk about next? Let's say, you want to go to something funny. This is warning. Bad words are said. Racist words are said in this video, apparently. This is HDTV's Nicole Curtis says this.
Why? It's my last one. Oh, fart nigger. What the fuck is that I just said? Hey, Nick, you gotta, can you kill that?
No, I got 35 minutes.
That guy's like, nope, I got that, and I'm selling it to TMZ in 4 years. What does that even mean? But she stuck the R, bro. She gave it to Gurr. It wasn't fart nigga. It was old school style. Man, that you had Southerners everywhere going, dang, she did good. She did good saying that. She stuck that R. I feel bad for her because I think they canceled her. I think they canceled her. And I feel bad for her. Amen Disco in the chat says people don't realize how much of this Trump just does just to do it, just to get a reaction. So good. Oh yeah, Trump does a lot of things just to piss people off. And I think he does sit back and just laugh at everybody while he's pissing everybody off. He's the ultimate, it's like, I hate that our president's a troll. And I kind of love that he just trolls everybody. Hey, by the way, if you want me to talk about something, put it in the chat. If you have a question for me, put it in the chat. Let's go. It's gonna be right at your time. So I'm gonna play some random videos that I had. But do me a favor. This next 20 minutes of this week, I want to start the weekend off right. Whatever you guys want to talk about, toss a question out there. If there's a topic you want to take on, let's get to one more as you guys are gearing up some topics. And let me take on one more topic because I definitely wanted to talk to you about this one. I think, what is it? Is it this one? Let's see. I think it's this one on tariffs.
Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long, that I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled. but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a no. But you can't knock their loyalty.
You can't knock their loyalty. That I wish I had more of these wild tea, wild leaf. If you come across these guys, this was delicious. You didn't even realize you were drinking anything. Green tea, wild leaf green tea with apple and honey. This is a little Oktoberfest beer. Let's see. I don't know about this one. I think this one's after the honey. After that honey one, I don't know how that's going to be. But all right, so let's get to the tariffs real quick. I'll do like 3 or 4 quick minutes on the tariffs. So here's the bottom line with the tariffs. They obviously did not do what the doom and gloomsdayers said that they were going to do. There are certain products from certain countries that are up. There are products from those other countries that are down. It did not cause mega inflation because our inflation number is right about 2 or 3. It's been hovering right about that number. So all the people and all the doomsdays and everything that you listen to, Democrats, if you're watching, please, this is where you could settle your head down. Because I'm going to talk to the Democrats really quick because I have to understand something from you. And maybe you guys can tell me for any of the Democrats that are in the chat, because I really try to understand this. You only not like tariffs because Trump said it. The Supreme Court ruled the way they did because they said that only Congress has the ability to tax. So they classified a tariff as a tax. So when you guys make the claim that tariffs are going to be paid by the American citizen because they'll just get passed on to the consumer, but then say at the same breath that we need to tax American businesses and not expect American businesses to pass on those same exact costs to the consumer, you can't make those same arguments in your own mind. They contradict each other. They're the same. I'm all for taxing foreign countries instead of taxing American companies. And what the Supreme Court ruled in this tariff case is that these tariffs are taxes. And it's funny because they just conveniently left out all the money that was paid back, and they didn't, not one word was said on, do they have to pay this shit back to everybody? Do we have to pay back the money? Now, Trump wanted to blame the Democrat Supreme Court. Well, the fact of the matter is, in order to get a 6-3 ruling, you needed Republicans, okay? And 3 Republicans broke. That means someone that he nominated broke from him and broke on this. And ultimately, they are right in their decision. Okay, so here's the problem. And this is something that I've had a problem with for a very long time. We are governing right now through executive order. We have been governing through executive order through many presidents right now, dating back to Clinton and even past him. But it's been more and more and more and more and more presidents just governing through executive order, trying to bypass Congress. And it's been more and more and more of Congress throwing mud at each other from their sides of the dance floor like it's a 3rd grade dance, a middle school dance, and they're just slinging shit at each other, and they're not working together, and they're not doing their job. So what happens? You have a president come in, make 300 executive orders, next one does 600, next one does 900. So the Supreme Court, what they did in their ruling was actually say that it's a check on government power. And there's every Democrat right now celebrating this, and there's a lot of Republicans celebrating this. And the saddest part about it is the Republicans have done nothing at all when they could have passed tariffs. They could have passed this to where it didn't have to go to the Supreme Court. Trump didn't have to do this. And now what does the Supreme Court do? And what did the Congress force them into? Trump has been using tariffs as a negotiating tool if you people can't figure this out. Trump understands nothing will get done in America. So he was trying to use tariffs to make deals overseas that were beneficial to Americans. And he has. And because the Republicans are feckless losers who are bought off by the exact same people that buy off the Democrats, they haven't passed anything. The big, beautiful bill didn't have any tariff policy in it. And now, what did they do? They castrated Trump going into the midterms when they look like they are headed towards an epic loss. And you know what? I sit here and I look back at this, and you still see Democrats saying, I'm going to impeach Trump, which is probably the dumbest. If you get in and you get voted in, your first method is to impeach him with 2 years left in a lame duck session. That is going to be the dumbest thing you could possibly do for the next presidential election. So why would they do that? That's dumb. And the Republicans are doing everything they can, like they always do, to lose every single election. It's insane how they didn't back Trump on the most fundamental thing of these tariffs. And I got news for everybody. Every one of you that were against these tariffs, they did nothing of what you claimed they would do. That's just the bottom line. I don't know. Let's see. Any questions in the chat? Anybody got any questions? Can you imagine, Amen Disker says, can you imagine if we all just pay the back taxes and then make a community pool? Can you imagine that if they weren't paying taxes on it, and then we did just pay the taxes? I bet they'll find a way to get around it. Joe, I love it. What's up, great Joe? Appreciate you watching. I would love to know if they have to pay for the public services that are tax exempt. For instance, trash pickups, they have to comply with fire codes. Example, sprinklers. Yeah, I mean a lot of that stuff. I don't know. That's honestly I would have to. There's a lot of people watching. I tell you that much, and a lot of questions here. A lot of comments. I don't see a lot of questions here, guys. Fire away with some questions. Wish everyone got together like this in the early 2000s. Yeah, you know what? You know what the problem was, honestly, BJ, in the early 2000s, even like think back like 5 years ago, you had other pages that tried doing this. You had the Jackson Strong that started themselves up. You know what the one thing they didn't have? They didn't have two things going for them. They didn't have an awakening population to, what Israel has done, honestly, has turned the focus on Jewish people in a way that I don't think they anticipated or want. And I think there's a lot of groups of Jewish people that don't want any part of this shit. I think they want to live their lives, not be a part of corruption, work like everybody else. I think there are a lot of them that want to do that. But the problem is there's a spotlight put on you right now, and a lot of them aren't helping the spotlight out. You know what I'm saying? So back then, 4 or 5 years ago, early 2000s, you didn't have where I could reach you guys. You didn't have it. You didn't have a guy like me doing it from a room in his house that was able to touch every single one of you guys off of a 3-minute video, 1 hour long show, or any of that stuff. We didn't have that. So now's a different time. Now we're at a spot where people are starting to be less and less and less afraid of being called names. People are being less and less afraid to have the hard conversations that need to be had. People want authenticity. They want reality. They're done with lies. And I think the regular everyday person has been lied to so much that we just can't stand the lies anymore. We can't take it. I know. That's one of the reasons why I started the show, because I can't take the lies anymore. I can't take any part of it. But how do we find out how many? Oh, I already read that, guys. Decision does not prevent Donald Trump from pursuing tariffs under other trade laws Congress have already passed. So it's accurate to say he lost that legal argument, but that's not entirely. It's not that his entire tariff agenda is over. No, and you're 100% right? So Teresa, you're 100% right with that. But this is what I mean when I'm going after Republicans. He could do it under certain means. But again, tax policy and changing tax policy and going to different percentages and using it now as a hammer the way he was doing it, he's way more hamstrung because the court said that he can't just do that. So he's hamstrung in the way he negotiates. Now, I have no doubt that they have another tactic. They're going to come around this from another direction. There's plenty of different ways to skin this cat. And the truth of the matter is, if he tries it again, like he does what Biden did with the what was it, the paying off student loans. Joe Biden lost that and said, all right, we're just going to do it under this. And then so you try it and then say, okay, I can't do it under that act. Well, then I'm going to do it under this act. And they just do it, and then it gets fought out in court, and then the Supreme Court will take it up in another 2 years. So hopefully that's the route he takes, and then he keeps using it as a hammer. I hope they didn't fully castrate him, but I'm just, my thing is I'm trying to bring everybody to the realization that we have to stop blindly defending these parties that lie to us and play games with us. It's like the Democrats fighting hard against voter ID. It's saying, oh, a woman who gets married isn't going to be able to vote. So can you shut up with those absolute fucking lies? Can you stop with the bullshit? Can you stop with the racist stuff saying that black people can't figure out how to get a voter ID? I don't know how they get away with that racist ass argument, but somehow they do. It's the same pandering bullshit back and forth. Mama Duke says that writes tariffs are not over. Trump will get it differently. Yeah, I have no doubt he will get it differently. I just, my thing is, sorry if I don't like Trump just running the country through executive order. I don't believe that's the way this country was founded. And I really don't like the fact that if a Democrat gets in, that everything he did, everything he has done can be erased with the stroke of a pen. Do you guys realize that the border is completely closed? And with one executive order, the border could be just right back to Joe Biden territory? This is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about. And these are positions that the majority of these Democrats that have been here longer than 5 years held this position at one point that the border should be closed. They all have. But now, just because Trump's behind it, no, we can't anymore. Joe Biden's been for closing the border forever. All of a sudden, he's not for it anymore. You can't. These things just don't happen. They don't just happen. And honestly, you have AOC, and AOC is like the number one person. Did you see her when she was who sent her to talk policy?
First and foremost, I think we need to revisit our commitments to international aid, not just USAID, but the dozens of global compacts that this current Secretary of State and President Trump have withdrawn from. They are looking to withdraw the United States from the entire world so that we can turn into an age of authoritarians that can carve out the world where Donald Trump can command the Western Hemisphere.
I mean, she's getting. I got to tell her something. When Kamala Harris threw her word salads together, you could tell they were very disjointed and borderline schizophrenic in the approach. AOC says nothing, but she does a pretty good job of saying nothing in a kind of articulate way of throwing out words that she doesn't understand the meaning to. But I got to tell you something. She, for a superficial world that we live in, she's going to be a tougher candidate than people ever want to think about in the Democratic primary. In the overall, I don't think she's going to be an appealing candidate. BJ says, I want to know how North Dover went from you can only build if you have an acre to multiple houses on an acre. That's where the problem started. You know how that happens? That happens because people aren't being told it's going on. So it's happening behind the scenes. One of the reasons why the boards are feeling a little more empowered to say no is because people are watching and people are paying attention. And exposure is the number one thing that we could do here. We have to expose all of it. And the people that operate in the shadows and they operate in the shady, like the way this mikva went down, trying to say it was a personal use, and then when they applied for all the permits under the personal use, it was really plumbing and everything set up for the public use. That type of stuff, that shady dealing, no one would have known about unless we get out there and we figure it out and we find these places and we expose it. And when you expose it, I'm telling you, sunlight is the absolute best disinfectant, 100%. Robert says, thank you. Teresa says, President Trump has more tools in his box. Demo speak, not my language. I love it. Listen, I try to give it to you guys. I obviously lead a certain way. I'm 100% a Trump guy, 100%. That doesn't mean that I think everything he does is wonderful. It does not mean that everything he does is the greatest. I think he's made mistakes. I think he's made several mistakes. But I also think that I know what the problem is, and I know what the problem was during his last term. The problem is always going to be the parties. The problem is always the Republicans. And Barack Obama's problem when he was president was the Democrats. They didn't get anything done for him, and I like it. I do like that our Congress is so bad that they do nothing, because I think that helps us. Can you imagine a Congress that actually got things done? Everything they do is wrong. Everything they do is bad. Everything they do sucks. Can you imagine if they had the ability to do more? No, our system, I think, was designed so Congress does nothing. And I will drink to that. Ooh, this is pretty good. Dude, Oktoberfest. Am I just thirsty? Or are these actually pretty good? Last couple of comments. Let's see. Anything coming up in the nothing coming up in there. Anything else on Facebook? No, got a lot of people watching now. A lot of people watching. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. Do me a favor, like I said, finger blast my like button. And I'm going to end you guys with this, man. I'm going to tell you something. I really appreciate every single one of you guys being with me. I appreciate every one of you guys that have supported me. I'm going to ask you to continue, man. I'm going to ask you to help out. I'm going to ask you to help out in any way that you possibly can, because I got to be honest. I want to be able to do this more often. I want to be able to go to more places. I want to be able to help more people with this. And I am a very good mason contractor, but my knees are shot. So I definitely want to turn this into a business. But more importantly, I want to turn this into something where we feel like we have a little bit of push, where we have the real information, where we're not being lied to by liars pushing some type of agenda. I hope you guys understand, everybody watching me, that my agenda, pure and simple, is to tell you guys the facts, the truth, and then I will give you my opinion based on what I've read and what I've seen and what I've listened to. That is my only aim here, ever. And I got to tell you something. And you know what? No, there's a second aim here. That is to give people a little bit of a voice and a little bit of hope. Because I do see, there's something to say about religious people because they have that faith, and I think people, you need some type of faith. And I'm not saying it has to be religious or any of that stuff, but you need some type of faith. You need it. You need belief. Because when people lose all faith and they lose all belief, especially in our system, especially in our leaders, in our politics, in our media, when you lose faith in some of the things that create your reality, then people start losing grip on reality. And right now, we're in a dangerous way where you have old people being taught how to decipher AI videos is not real because they don't even understand the fact that AI could just generate real-looking videos that to them are real. Remember, these are people that didn't even have TV at one point. And now they're staring at AI when they're 90. So we have to think about all this stuff and think about what we're doing wrong in the assumptions that we're making by blindly defending the tribes that we think we belong to. And those tribes don't give a shit about you. Those tribes have never done anything for you. Yet you defend them, you defend their lies, you defend their bullshit. And all they do is use you and use you. So listen, man, you know, I ask you guys to be caltrops, and you have to be a caltrop in your own mind. You have to be someone that's willing to say, enough's enough. I could do something. I can make a difference. One person can make a difference. One person can make a big difference if they're motivated. And I'm telling you something, I'm motivated, and I can't even dedicate that much time to this. And I made a difference. Imagine, I keep saying to you guys, imagine if there's 20,000 of us. Imagine if there's 50,000 of us. Imagine if there's 100,000 of us. Especially in my area, we have a lot of people in Ocean County. Imagine if there was 100,000 of us that we were willing to say, we will not vote for you if you don't align our interests. Imagine what type of power you could take from these parties. Imagine what type of power you could have. And you don't need a lot of people. You don't need a lot. You have commissioner seats. You have seats that are up for grabs, that are powerful positions in your town, that are won on 1,000 votes, 2,000 votes, 3,000 votes. Countywide seats won on 1,500 votes. And the margins on these things are 50 votes, 30 votes, 40 votes. You want to make a difference? Get a group of people that are going to vote for those positions, to get the people that have been in these power spots for long enough the fuck out. That's what caltrops do. That's what caltrops do. So listen, guys, I thank you, every one of you guys, for being with me. Be sure to do two things. Share the hell out of this and have yourself a great weekend. Look out for my videos. I have a couple coming. There's a story going on in Jackson about some, I don't know, it's like extortion, Jackson, New Jersey, not extortion, kind of like almost bribery, borderline bribery type scene. Very interesting, not payment. Very interesting story. I'll be doing that over the weekend. But I will be back next Monday, 8 o'clock p.m., obviously Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Caltrop. Center Cut Media on YouTube, Center Cut Media on Rumble, Mike Calderese on Facebook. I really appreciate every one of you guys with me. This Caltrop is out. Have a great weekend.
So ring the bell. You bring the facts, he's been up.
if you watch this, come up to me and say mikva, and we will get a beer together.